This is Wizard Check. It's a podcast of sorts. So they say.
Like, this came out a few weeks ago, and I saw it, and I was like, this is probably all bullshit. And then Sean Combs gets fucking raided, and then you kind of know, like, yeah, the feds are onto something here.
Well, maybe somebody did come out 2 weeks ago.
No, this is, honestly, I would say that the majority of this is real in the fact that he's getting raided, because the only reason he was getting raided was to get more information for the cases, because the cases seem to have enough information to have him be raided. That wasn't the case with Cassie, but now this is the case. This is going to be Rodney Jones against Sean Combs.
Big difference between, like, having some cucks, fucking a hotel compared to, like, cheating people out of tons of money,
Yeah, this is also against Justin Dior Combs, the son. Ethiopia, I don't know who this fucking is. I think she's part of, it gets explained. Lucian Charles Grange, who is the head of, Sir Lucian Charles Grange, by the way. He is the head of the Universal Music Group. He is knighted by the royal family, I think only a year or two ago by Prince William, but is also connected to Prince Harry. Strange with that, Christina Coram goes by KK. That is Sean Combs' personal assistant, who is kind of mentioned in this whole thing as being like the Ghislaine of this whole situation. She's sort of that. Love Records, which is Diddy's kind of, I think, new LLC, because he likes to change his LLC from Bad Boy, probably tax reason. Motown, Universal Music Group's involved. All this stuff. Combs Global Enterprises, which kind of connects to Chirac and other things. Other Jane and Joe, which can get mentioned. Let's go through the parties involved here. You got Sean Combs, 54 years old at this point, by the way. Kind of doing all these things. It's interesting. Justin Dior Combs, who's, I think, one of the elder sons of him, but not too old. Born in 1993, so he's not much younger than us.
To know not to wear a full-bodied suede one piece with some juicy shit on the back. I'm hoping they know not to do that.
Lucian Charles Grange, Sir Lucian Charles Grange.
Lucian, shout out to Lucian.
Ethiopia Harmarian, whatever. She's the defendant from the Motown Records.
Harmarian from B2K.
Yeah, and then here's KK, Christina Coram. That's Diddy's chief of staff, as they're called.
Okay. There. Yeah, shouts out to BET, channel 504.
And here's little Rod, Rodney Jones, from Chicago, born and raised Chicago. Started playing music instruments at the age of 5, whatever. He's a church guy. I don't care. He's made music. Basically, what happened was he was hired by Diddy for the Love album, because that's where Diddy was going to come out as Brother Love or whatever he was trying himself.
He's trying to do some Cactus Jack type of shit.
Yeah, some Brother Love. That's some Bruce Pritchard.
Dude Love.
Right, Bruce Pritchard. You could look that up if you know. If you know, you know. Yeah, he's gonna make 9 songs for the Love album, and he lived with Mr. Combs for months at a time, spending holidays, birthdays, and major family events. So he kind of witnessed a lot of things. That's where a lot of this comes from, and some of these allegations. He spent several weeks on a yacht rented by Mr. Combs in the Virgin Islands. Throughout the time, Mr. Combs witnessed his experience, endured many things that went far beyond his role as producer of the Love album. That's kind of what this comes from. Also, by the way, Mr. Jones secured irrefutable evidence of the acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms.
What's GHB?
That's what is GHB? Isn't that I know it's a date rape job, but what do they call it? There's a term for it.
Quaalude?
No, I think it just goes by GHB. It's just a date rape drug. It kind of knocks people out, so you can kind of like fuck them while they're sleeping.
What does it consist of?
I'm not sure. I think it's kind of like ketamine a little bit. I think it's a barbiturate. But yeah, he also displayed, was witness to the distribution of unregistered illegal firearms. He also saw Mr. Combs providing laced. Mr. Combs is Diddy, by the way. providing laced alcoholic beverage to minors and sex workers at his homes in California, New York, Virgin Islands, and Florida, Virgin Islands, and also probably in the Caribbean, which is across borders, becomes an issue. He witnessed Christian Combs, the son of Diddy, drugging and sexually assaulting women.
And he also played Division 5 baseball.
Yeah, he Young Miami, which is I think she's kind of hot, kind of
Feels
like
like a rapper.
Yeah, she's kind of hot, kind of like a rapper. He claims
With
to be
a
sexually
W.
assaulted by. He claims to be sexually assaulted by her, and then also sexually assaulted by actor Cuba Gooding Jr. That kind of comes into play.
Oh.
He also saw Mr. Holmes on a yacht.
After you played OJ, do you really want to like?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to
mess
mess with
around
that.
with that kind of shit anymore. You know.
Yes, so Mr. Holmes on a yacht consorting with underage girls, sex workers, and an R&B singer, redacted, by the way, who is there's
Casey
two
and Georgia,
there's two redacted. There's a redacted rapper who is from Philadelphia who dated Nicki Minaj. If you do the math, that's pretty obvious who it is.
Will Smith.
You know, Meek Mill. You could do the math. It's Meek Mill. Yeah, and then the R&B.
In a way, that's an oxymoron, you know, because you can't really make a meeker $1 million.
Yeah, and then the R&B singer that's redacted is he's reportedly like I think someone who abused a millionaire who is it's Rihanna that he abused. So it's Chris Brown is the redacted other guy. Yeah. So yeah, and also here's the thing. So here's the first thing that's kind of I think a bigger investigation. Probably what the FBI is probably most involved with is this shooting that happened, and this kind of relates to what happened in with Shine. Remember Shine, the rapper Shine? I know you know about Shine. But there was a shooting outside of a nightclub in like the late 90s with this is when Diddy was dating J-Lo and Shine was in the car.
Oh shit, yeah, Shine sounded like really deep voiced.
Yeah.
He was like a rip off of fucking
whatever it was, he took the fall for Diddy for a shooting and had to go to jail essentially for years, then left almost like Mace. It comes into play. It's almost like it comes into play a little bit, but like there's these people that have left, you know, like Mace and Shine, like they like run as far as they can from Diddy once they can. You know, like it seems to be the case.
Well, it seems like he's like some praying mantis, you know, like he kind of fucks you and cuts your head off at the same time, and then you're left incapacitated.
But this shooting happened during the studio session. Mr. Combs and his son had a friend named G. He was a 30-year-old tall African-American male. So, okay.
Well, you know what can be dangerous is when, like, people like Puff Daddy who are not from that shit, you know, like they're not from Chirac or some bullshit, and they overcompensate and hire like a bunch of people to, you know, watch over them and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I can see that kind of issue arising where it's like Puff Daddy and like 4 guys with submachine guns walking around.
Oh, that's kind of what happened here is there was an altercation or a dispute, a heated discussion with Mr. Combs, Jay Combs, the son, who might be involved in more things than we think here. And G were in a heated conversation. The conversation moved to the restroom where Mr. Jones was sitting. I guess he was shitting in a bathroom because it kind of comes in. Mr. Jones was approximately 2 feet away from the bathroom when gunshots rang out. Mr. Jones recalls hearing multiple gunshots. He was in a state of shock because he thought that they would shoot through the door. That's how close it was. After the shooting, the crowd gathered in the restrooms, and Mr. Combs, Jay Combs, exited. What G was lying on the restroom floor in a fetal position, holding a stomach. Basically, they all ran out. Combs and his son ran out and gave instructions to the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting and that this happened outside the studio by a drive-by assailant, which is very reminiscent of what happened with Shine in the 90s at a nightclub. Almost to a T right there. And here's an article of a man getting shot outside of a Hollywood recording studio. So that's how it was reported. There's definitely corroborating. There's witnesses of talking about this. So the guy was shot, and also here is some. Like, it's funny. This guy, Lil Rod, was taking photos of all this shit. I think that's another thing, is like he was documenting this shit pretty smartly. He had photos here of the bathroom, the blood on the floor. Yeah, it definitely happened in the bathroom, which might be enough to implicate the Combs people here, the two, Diddy and his son. But there's more. There's more here. There's a lot more. Throughout, this is Mr. Jones. Lil Rod was sexually assaulted and harassed by Mr. Combs. And we've heard all the allegations about Diddy, about some of the gay stuff. You've heard about that, right? I know. We heard about it from we were like watching this clip of Diddy talk to Fabulous, and it's like really fucking weird. Like, I'll play the clip. I gotta get the clip. It's just a part where he's like calling him daddy or something. It's like, it's just strange. Like, here you go. I'll play it. It's right in the beginning of this clip here, but you could kind of see how this is just weird. I mean, have you ever called another grown man daddy? I haven't. I think it's a little strange.
Yeah, I love this drink. I like when you like this, daddy. Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell it's like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, I love this drink. I like when you like this, daddy. Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping. Scrambling and scraping for shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go over with that.
I think they're all confused on what he's talking about here. I know we've talked about that one before, about that, but yeah, back to the allegations. This is a long thing here. I gotta take some more Ciroc for this to get going, but there we go. Yeah, throughout his time living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was the victim of constant, unsolicited, unauthorized groping by Mr. Combs, including the touching of his anus by Mr. Combs. So I guess he was getting fingered by Diddy. Diddy done diddler, Is that what that means? I mean, what does that mean, touching of the anus? Is that like getting fingered? Or is he just like grabbing his ass? That's a joke. It's up to you. To your readers, that's up to you. I don't know, man. That's an investigation on its own right there.
I'm just happy everyone got to see me. What the
Investigate 311.
So here we go. Mr. Combs allegedly touched the anus of Mr. Jones here. So I guess he was fingering him. And these events took place in L.A., New York, Florida, and the Virgin. So he was getting fingered in multiple places. And I've seen the video. P. Diddy's been all around the whole world, so he has a whole video talking about that all around the world. So I guess that's about getting fingered. Yeah.
All around the world. Yeah.
I mean, maybe we're just player hating, right? Maybe Mr. Jones is player hating.
What's the one with the Tiger Woods spoof?
That's the Mo Money, No Problems.
Yeah.
The Rolex.
When they're like flying under some air jet shit. And that fish scope fucking lens thing got used so fucking hard. Like when you're looking.
I was watching the videos. They're good, man. They're good videos.
Doorbell.
They're very well made.
Like 80% of the music videos back then were shot inside of a doorbell.
Yeah. In addition to the unsolicited and unauthorized touching,
Mike Williams.
Yeah. Mr. Combs was forced to work with Mr. Combs in Mr. Combs' bathroom as Mr. Combs walked around naked and showered in clear glass enclosure. Okay. As a heterosexual Christian man, Mr. Jones was uncomfortable with Mr. Combs' advances. and expressed discomfort to the chief of staff, KK, Christina Coram. She'll be referred to from out as KK. KK responded to Mr. Jones saying, Sean will be Sean. KK also attempted to downplay Mr. Combs' groping of Mr. Jones's anus and genitals as friendly horseplay. I mean, there's some truth to that. Is it locker room stuff, or is it is Diddy a creep? You can't really tell because, this can happen in a high school locker room probably every day. Are they getting charged by the FBI? I don't know. But apparently the hypocrisy of this was kind of getting taken as enabling. Mr. Jones believes that KK aided and abetted Mr. Combs' sexual assault of him and was working for Mr. Combs to groom him to accepting a homosexual relationship. Kind of saying, you can let him touch your balls and, finger your asshole. It's just kind of a joke, right?
Check your policy.
Tickle your asshole, a little tickle. Yeah, Mr. Combs attempted to groom Mr. Jones into gay sex. Mr. Combs was aware that Mr. Jones looked up and idolized the producer, Stevie J. Do you know who Stevie J is? You might know this. He's a DJ, record producer.
Read the room.
Do you know Stevie J?
Yeah, he's a producer that was on one of the earlier rapper fucks random woman TV shows, and
I guess this guy, Lil Rod, Mr. Jones here, he really liked him as influence to him, and Mr. Combs used that to let this guy know that Stevie J was also into homosexuality, and that he shared a video of Stevie J anally penetrating a Caucasian male without a condom. This was done to ease Mr. Jones' anxiety concerning homosexuality. This is a normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stevie J is doing it, says Mr. Combs.
Even him.
I have to say, some of this starts to kind of I can kind of see what they're trying to do. Yeah, here is clips, screenshots of the video. They're not showing much, but if you do look up Stevie J, that does look like him there. So he's got video proof of this. Thanksgiving 2022. This all happened pretty recently. Mr. Jones was sexually assaulted by Young Miami, the cousin of Mr. Combs here, she is attractive. Apparently, she undressed and straddled him, which I have to say is would you ever? I would never have an issue with this. Shit.
He pressed charges for that?
Well, I mean, again, is this guy just a kind of a little prude, or is he? I don't know. I feel like I would have no issue with it. I don't know. But who knows, man? Maybe this guy is married. I have no clue. But she started undressing and straddling him in the presence of Mr. Combs and his staff. So basically, and we know how Diddy is. He likes to freak off. He wants to see people fuck in front of him. So I think that's sort of what he's trying to do. He's trying to get this guy to fuck in front of him. I don't know. I don't think I would mind. Young Miami. Have you seen Young Miami? She's pretty good. She's pretty good. I don't think I would say no. Is all I would say. I mean, is she the best? No. But would I say no? No. Here's Young Miami. Judge as you will. I think I would say yes to Young Miami. She's pretty cute for me. And here's her with Diddy. So she's a known associate with Diddy right there. Not looking good for her.
Oh, she's from
a group.
The duo.
She's from a group called. It was mentioned in the beginning.
City
China Girls or something. China something. I don't know.
No, City.
Something City. Yeah.
They're just big ratchet whores for strippers to grind their cunts to. They're Miami twerk music mixed with Southern rap stuff. I like a lot of their shit.
I mean, honestly, man, I'm not a super conservative person. I would have no issue with this, with that, with you know. I mean, I personally would have no issue with sex workers, some hot black girl grinding on me. No, I wouldn't have an issue with that.
You sound like a
I'm
senator.
all for that. Yeah, I sound like a senator, right?
So you sound like you're running for office.
Yeah, I might as well be, right? Like, I did not.
I've never seen this video in all my life.
But yeah, also trafficking with this. Here's the thing. This is the part that becomes an issue once you start to cross borders and trafficking, and it becomes trafficking once you start to cross borders. And throughout his time, Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones, Lil Rod, was transported from California to New York to Florida to the United States Virgin Islands, and probably also to the Caribbean. I'm surprised he doesn't mention that. There could be, you could go to other Caribbean states. That you're technically international. During this time, as Mr. Jones was forced to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. Mr. Combs was forced Mr. Jones to bring prostitutes and sex workers back home in Miami, Florida. Are you serious? Like, talking about forced? Come on.
Mr. Jones, like the Counting Crows.
Mr. Jones and me.
Losing his mind.
In fucking money, in pussy, in Starbucks. Starbucks credits.
Oh, the sex workers. Here we go. We have. I mean, that's the thing is, man. He has all like his videos. He has photos. They're blacked out photos, but here are alleged sex workers with that Mr. Combs forced Mr. Jones to bring back.
Good enough.
And I mean, this is to me. This is kind of fucked up. Like, I understand being like annoyed at this for sure. Is on February 2nd, 2023, which is about only a year ago, Mr. Jones believed that Mr. Combs drugged him. Mr. Jones recalls waking up naked, dizzy, and confused. He was in a bed with two sex workers and Mr. Combs, Diddy. And
wait, hold on. Did he say he was dizzy and confused or Disney and confused?
Disney. Oh shit, Disney. Oh shit. I see what you did right there.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
But I mean, you're waking up naked and confused, and you're in a bed with Diddy. That's pretty bad. He recalls aimlessly wandering around the house with no clothes on as well. Here is photos of. I can't really tell what's going on in his photos, but sex workers in the Jones with him if they're being drugged. Boo-hoo. You had to fuck some hot sex workers, I guess. I don't know. But who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they were underage. That is the thing.
Like Hunter Biden, you want to give your disposition? Yeah, I had to snort crack and fuck high-end prostitutes for a month. I'm so sorry.
I mean, there's some stuff about hey, this is awesome. But he asked fucking this guy for $100 bill to do coke with him. Oh, come on. He just wanted to look cool with doing coke with Young Miami or whatever. Later that evening, Mr. Jones was solicited to sex workers from Booby Trap. I guess this is a Miami group or something. Booby Trap on the river. I guess they're like a.
Sounds like it.
Like an escort service or something. And apparently, when you wear like a bad boy baseball cap in Miami at like certain restaurants or strip,
you're asked for anal.
They know what you're trying to do. They know like who you are. If you got the bad boy cap on, they'll just kind of like they know what's going on.
Meet me at the stall.
I kind of think there's some truth to that. That's like a good little code word. I kind of like that. That seems realistic. Here's the following Instagram profiles of two sex workers that Mr. Combs and Mr. Jones solicited to have sex with them in the Miami, Florida. Sounds cool with me. Look at these. I mean, I see some nice legs, some nice tits. Sounds cool to me. I don't know. Who am I? Pervert? I don't know. I'm bullshit?
Bullshit artist.
Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit sex with any of these individuals.
Bullshit artist.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I mean, I don't know. Come on. Unless this is all for the act. You want to, here's the thing, by the way. This all comes out because, Well, this all is because Mr. Jones, who was the producer of 9 songs on his album, he didn't get paid. He was owed $250,000, and Diddy blanked him. Didn't give him shit.
Diddy coins.
So this is what kind of came out because of it.
In Diddy dollars.
Here we go. We have the following phone number for a sex worker.
Wasn't he on Always Sunny for an episode?
Yeah, man. He wasn't Always Sunny. It was really weird. It
he
felt
was like some.
It felt really weird at the time too. It felt very
he was
strange.
Like, spraying them with like some water because he was some healer, like some voodoo shit.
I mean, I at the time I thought it was strange.
Yeah, that's when Diddy got into voodoo.
It just felt weird. Like even at the time, I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" I was like they owe somebody money or something. I don't know. It felt like a weird like cameo that was like forced upon them. That's how I felt. Here's Dr. Jinx, Always Sunny.
Mother Earth don't play. Do you have anything from the Mother Earth that would be sprayed on me and cause me to have feelings again? Because I'm having trouble feeling things.
Oh, you want feelings? What?
Oh no! Hold on.
We don't want Dennis to have feelings because then he'll go and murder someone.
That's true, man. He's got the zip ties and everything. Dr. Jinx is more.
Yeah, Dennis is a
You want feelings? Well, I have something for that.
He's got feelings, man. He knows how to bring out the feelings. Got that Fender bass. Not playing it, by the way.
Oh, it's this New Kids on the Block.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. The right stuff.
Yeah, I got tutored by somebody who had New Kids on the Block. Like their whole bedroom was themed in it. Posters.
We're from that time. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, that's fucking crazy to have like every single item of your room covered in it.
The right stuff.
Really feels like you're in a cult. I don't know.
Yeah. Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit and have sex with any individuals. Really? Come on. I saw those pictures.
Okay.
Come on. You're lying. You're lying. Okay.
Me too.
Sure.
This is the new Me Too movement.
Some legal stuff here. Come on.
Sure.
But he said how Diddy would offer him, all this money and all this stuff, and at the same time sort of threaten him. That was kind of what was coming out. He would switch his approach. He'd go from promising Mr. Jones the world to threatening Mr. Jones and physical harm. Mr. Combs threatened to eat Mr. Jones' face and informed Mr. Jones that he is willing to kill his own mother, Janice Combs, if he must, in order to get what he wants. So he wouldn't think twice about killing or harming Mr. Jones. The right stuff. Sounds right.
Well, it sounds like the wrong stuff.
Mr. Jones and Mr. J. Combs, the son, solicits drugs and engages in illicit sex.
Stands for
illicit sex with minors. Sex work. That's where this becomes an issue. You get those minors involved, that becomes an issue.
R. Kelly.
Yeah, this was during the July of 2023, not too long ago. Only we're talking about like 9 months ago. Mr. Combs had a quote unquote listening party. What do you think that means? Man, this guy's good. This guy knows what he's doing.
Their cell phone service.
He knows what he's doing, man. President's party was R&B artist Redacted. Redacted R&B artist who, if you look at the little footnotes here, it's definitely, what's his name? The guy with Rihanna, Chris Brown. The R&B artist Chris Brown.
No,
he had Jay Combs, the son. He had the other son there, and sex workers and some other underage girls. Let's see this. Let's get into the details. Mr. Combs forced all the women to drink a De Leon liquor, which was, that's one of his brands right there, which was laced with liquor It was laced with ecstasy. He
so
did not check.
legalized some like weird ass date rape drug.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking into this. Diddy loves to lace liquor with ecstasy or GHB, and it's known when you go to his parties, basically, that if you're a guy, you have to drink this one liquor bottle that might have
It's like a fucking
ecstasy.
potion.
Yeah, like they know not to drink certain things because it's kind of meant for certain people. That's kind of the thing here. His drug of choice it's called Tucci.
So
It's
like sushi.
It's cocaine and ecstasy combined, and I guess he would snort it. So that's Mr. Combs. That's Diddy's drug of choice. Diddy did not check into identification of any of these underage girls. I kind of understand that. I think you wouldn't get. I mean, that's the thing where
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
like,
you
are you really
just
gonna like
walk
check? You're like
around
at a fucking party. You're gonna check everyone's
IDing
fucking.
people all the time. You know, it's pretty weird.
Yeah, are you gonna be like, are you circumcised? Can you show me your penis? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Sometimes you just gotta take a risk. Get them at face value. Hope
Makes me wonder,
doesn't
like, back
come
in
back
like
to bite you in the end.
like the late 90s times, imagine what he was getting away with. Just imagine what he was getting away with then, when like there wasn't internet and all this shit and cancel culture. He was getting away with fucking murder. Like, you don't even know what's going on then. That's all I'll say. He attempted to leave. Mr. Combs forced him to stay. He forced him to stay. Sure. Sure, he forced you to stay. After being forced to drink laced De Leon shots, Mr. Jones began feeling lightheaded and recalls passing out and waking up at 4 a.m, naked with a sex worker sleeping next to him. Sure. Here's the videos of this. This is Mr. Combs with an underage female. She's blacked out, of course, but you know what? I don't doubt that she's underage. That's all I'll say. I don't doubt it. That's where it's like all these will come back and hurt Diddy. Like,
No, yeah. Diddy
true.
don't doubt it.
Here's Justin Combs with an underage female in the background there. It doesn't seem like he's being implicated too much right there, but he's there. And then here's the thing that's become a new little sensation is Mr. Combs attempted to pass off Lil Rod, Mr. Jones, to Cuba Gooding Jr. for a gay homosexual, grooming sexual relationship here. We've all seen that video where he's like in the movie where he's in the scuba suit from like the 1930s. That was pretty gay, right?
I don't know. You never wanted to fuck somebody in a scuba suit?
I mean, I'm talking about like, wasn't he in some kind of scuba suit? What was that movie where he's in a scuba suit? A few Good Men. Men of Honor. You know what I'm talking about? Men of Honor.
With Robert De Niro?
Yeah, sure.
Or De Niro, based on how much money they made.
Oh, no, I like that, yeah. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Sure about that?
Sure about that?
Fuck you.
No, I'm just joking.
I'm very sure about it.
Mr. Jones believes that Mr. Combs was grooming him to pass him off to his friends in a homosexual situation.
Well, yeah, I would say to get groomed at least takes a month.
The fear became reality when Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. Gay Cuba Gooding Jr. Well, wasn't he on the boat trip? Isn't that part of the movie? Shit.
It's Horatio Sands and Cuba Gooding Jr. going
boat
on
trip.
a boat trip.
This is the real life boat trip.
They come across like a bunch of hot women.
This sounds like Diddy's boat trip.
Rosalia Perez, and she does this like whole weird sequence with Cuba Gooding Jr. where they're like sucking bananas off, showing how to give a blowjob. It's very weird.
Well,
and
during this
movie, I don't know how, but like it got weirdly marketed to where I saw it was like,
family.
I had my sister, and it's like seeing Rosalia Perez show Cuba Gooding Jr. how to give a blowjob on a banana was pretty fucking awkward. And this is not like, some puppet fucking from Team America.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. That's like, it's pretty cool though.
Very cool.
Very cool.
During the introduction, Mr. Combs suggested that Cuba quote unquote get to know Mr. Jones better. He left them alone in a makeshift studio on the yacht. Didn't Cuba Gooding Jr. like to sing? So this sort of adds up like a little bit, right? I don't know. I thought he liked to sing. Didn't he have or maybe I think of Eddie Murphy. I don't know. They all look alike, right? Ugh. Ugh.
You're wondering whether I'm still the liquor.
Yeah. As evidence of the video, screenshots are embedded below. Cuba Gooding Jr. began touching and groping.
What's Dan Aykroyd
doing that? He was in the new Ghostbuster movie. He wasn't too bad. He was actually had a big role.
Didn't blacklist him.
No, he had a pretty big role. Wasn't bad either. He was probably one of the better parts. Like him and Kumail were like probably the only parts of that movie that were like decent. And I mean the main girl's all right. She's all right. She did her job. It's not her fault. It's not her fault.
Yeah, it's probably not the feedback they're looking for.
It ain't your fault, McKenna Grace. I think that's her name.
You did your job.
As evidenced by the video above here, screenshots embedded below, Cuba Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones's leg, his upper thigh near his groin, and the small of his back near his buttocks and his shoulders. Mr. Jones was extremely uncomfortable, likely so, but proceeded to lean away from Mr. Gooding Jr. He rejected the advance of Mr. Gooding Jr. and did not stop until Mr. Jr. forcibly pushed himself away. Here's the screenshot. It just looks. Here's the thing about this photo. This just looks like Cuba Gooding Jr. has his arm around his shoulder. Does that mean anything? To me, not really. That's all I'll say about that. Not really. Do I doubt what he's saying? No, but that photo doesn't show a lot. He claims to have a video of this situation, so that's something under court he will provide. It says right here in the footnotes, the writer in possession of the video will provide copy to the court. So I guess there's something more. So maybe there's something more. Maybe he's actually touching him. I don't know. Kind of interesting though, to have all this proof. Who's filming this? Who's filming that video? That's what I was wondering about. Weird, right? Who has like a video set up for this? Kind of strange. The Love album. Yeah, this was basically about Mr. Jones was offered money for a certain amount of time, and he actually never got money for any of this amount of time. So he's owed money. So that's kind of, I think, where this all kind of comes from. Let's see this. Let's get that. Yada yada. There's a lot of bullshit here. Yeah, this all kind of connects back to, I think, the situation with Shine, where Diddy kind of has had some questionable activities. I've seen that Mo Money problems. There's some questionable video choices right there. Questionable dance moves with him and Jennifer Lopez, and kind of like a samba in the middle of the song. It's questionable. Like, did you need to do a samba? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
Samba's like some ballroom dance shit.
Yeah, in the beginning in like the middle of that song, he like breaks out and has a dance thing with Jennifer Lopez.
You're talking about with Noriega?
No, I'm talking with Jennifer Lopez. He has like a dance number with her.
What?
Out of nowhere.
What? If you take the like chorus of that song and put it into like a Chat GPT AI fucking service, it's not even different than what the actual chorus is. That's how basic and idiotic and minimal it is.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean,
just somebody saying what? Like
what?
In a row.
You got the Rolex and you do the little
what? What?
Here you go.
Look at that. It's like a preacher.
Here we go. This is the part I was talking about. Middle of the song. I probably forgot this. Big Booty Latina. Our AOC. 2000s there.
Yeah.
Got a good like funk jazz sample here. It's really good music. This is the only good music in the song.
It's a sample.
Fully sampled.
Wait, so this begs the question: did J-Lo get freaked out for Cassie?
I think J-Lo is just completely along for the just a PR.
So you feel she's above
No, she's
that?
with any of these people.
Okay.
She's not fucking any
I
of these
see
guys.
what's going on.
That is the question though. Are we all just player hating? That's the thing, man. I was questioning about
I mean,
this. Like,
when you're dressed in a
all just
full-bodied aluminum suit, who's not gonna hit?
am I just are we just player haters? That's a big
Like,
question.
have you
man.
ever dressed in a tuxedo covered in, just like tinfoil? No. So you don't know what it's like.
No, I don't know what it's like, man. I don't have more money, more problems, so I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. But no,
You got some money, some problems.
I've never met Locks. I never met Locks, the guy who's
You're
on some
at
of the songs.
some, you want to get to Mo.
Yeah. Do you know the rapper Locks?
LOX,
LOX.
like the bagel.
I guess I remember Locks was like on his songs during that because I had that album. I remember like it was P Diddy featuring Locks, and I was like, who is Locks? And I searched Locks, and it was like a salmon, like a cold salmon thing.
Yeah, you gotta thin it. You gotta cut it very
So I don't know,
thin,
is it a real
almost
rapper? I
to
don't know.
where if you put it up to a light, you can just see through it like a plane of glass.
Okay, Locks is a group. It's a group. They're the guys on
Locks. Yeah, they did shit with
Locks.
Lil Kim.
Well, they're the ones on that the rap rock version of the Benjamins video I posted yesterday, which is a brilliant video right there. Brilliant thing, right?
In
Kinda
context, yeah,
capitalizing
it is.
on the culture at the time, right? I mean, that's he had his finger on the pulse right there. His finger on something. I mean, we were talking about this. He had his finger on a lot of things here. Finger up some asses here, male asses. Mr. Jones in particular here. Let's see. Let's go into some more details here. Let's defendant Christina Coram is the Ghislaine Maxwell to Sean Combs is Jeffrey Epstein. That's a little claim here. That's the claim here. During the time he traveled with Mr. Combs and KK, as she's referred to, Mr. Combs was high off gummies and pills. That sounds pretty regular. Defendant Coram required all employees from the butler to the chief of housekeepers to walk around with a pouch. Wow, this is kind of funny. That sounds so like, I mean, that's pretty hilarious. All housekeepers had a pouch of drugs for Diddy at any moment he was there. The pouch contained cocaine, GHB, ecstasy, marijuana, gummies, 100. Wow, these are heavy too. 100, 250 milligram each. That's a very strong dose of gummies. And Tucci, a pink drug that was a combination of ecstasy and cocaine.
You know, it sounds like a mix of enough stuff towards like a date rape drug without having anything fully isolated to one chemical or the other. You know,
I mean, I have some legal
it's like
gummies.
This big cocktail smorgasbord of trying to get you incapacitated.
I have some legal gummies right here, and these are mostly CBD, but they do have THC, and there's only 1 milligram of THC in this dose of a gummy. So he had doses of gummies that were 100 to 250 milligrams each. That is incredibly high. But I mean, hey, that weed, come on. Not a big deal compared to your Tucci, your ecstasy, and cocaine, which probably is pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, probably something fun there. Come on, so he's a rapper, whatever. Come on, yeah. But Mr. Combs' drug of choice was immediately ready for when he asked for it. So, would you expect anything less? I think that's kind of cool. Defendant Coram ordered sex workers and prostitute for Mr. Combs. It's pretty cool. Defendant Coram ordered and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms. That's a strange one. Mushrooms is the one that's the weirdest one out of all these, right? You wouldn't think mushrooms are involved. You think, you'd be like, maybe some like Pink Floyd groupies might like some mushrooms. I wouldn't think the bad boy people like mushrooms. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But he would have this for his celebrity guests who were present on his rented yacht, his homes in L.A., New York, and Miami. Multiple occasions, defendant Coram forced Jones to carry. This is another thing that's not comfortable, and I agree with Mr. Jones here. He's forced to carry a pouch of all these illicit materials against his will when he would travel, probably. So that's not cool. I don't like that. And defendant Coram has, following the should have execute some enterprises of the CBJ. He was recruited for sex workers and attended parties that had freak offs. We talked about freak offs. We talked about that a bunch. Justin Combe, the son, he solicited prostitutes, underage girls, and sex workers, and would engage in freak offs. It was also weird, probably in front of Diddy. You never know. Let's go down here a little bit. Mr. Combs was also funded in affiliation with local gangs and gang leaders, and would frequent homes in L.A. and Miami to secure drugs and guns obtained and distributed throughout his homes in L.A. and Miami. That ain't good. And he would brag about bribing witnesses and jurors in his criminal case concerning the 1999 nightclub shooting involving Shine. So he would kind of boast about how he got off in there, and he also would parade around with music industry executives, giving them drugs like Lucian Charles Grange, the CEO and operator of Universal Music Group, gigantic music record label, having them partake in sex workers with minors, illegal drugs, and using ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms. And I mean, I've been around all of those except GHB. I've never seen anyone take GHB, but I've seen people take all of the above. I think in the same.
What's GHB?
Yeah. It's a date rape drug. I don't know. I really don't know what it is. I've never been around someone taking GHB.
Is it like steroids?
No, I think it's like ketamine. I think it's like a barbiturate kind of dissociative. I don't know. It's like, I mean, I've been around people taking ecstasy, obviously. I've took ecstasy. It's great. Cocaine, I've seen people take it a lot. I've seen people take ketamine with cocaine, which I think is called a Calvin Klein. I've heard that referred to. Marijuana and mushrooms. I've seen all this happen in front of me. I'm not a drug user or taker, but I've seen it. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I guess it's sensationalism, right? That's what I was thinking about. It's very sensational to hear about, oh, you're a big record executive taking these drugs, but what the fuck do you expect them to do? I don't know. Come on. It's fine to me. It's fine to me. All right. Mr. Combs is allowed to wreak havoc. Yeah, it does sound like he's allowed to do what the fuck he wants under the, recording expenses of Universal Music Group, which kind of implicates them, Bad Boy Records and all these things. Any kind of record label associated, it's not good for them because now they're implicated in the law of what he's doing with that money during the recording session, which is paid for by that label, So they're paying for that recording time or working session, which might include prostitutes, drug use, and they're implicated, That's where this becomes a legal dispute. That's the fine print right there. That's another thing is it's become now available that let's see, let me go through this. There's more. There is more. There's a lot more on this. Basically, it's become that Mr. Jones, Lil Rod, has found out that everything involved in Diddy's rooms, his recording studios, anywhere where he is usually video recorded, like an Epstein, which is kind of interesting because then you got blackmail. You know, there's the blackmail stuff involved. That's where it starts to kind of be a lot like Epstein. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is repeat stuff. We're seeing repeat neglect, insecurity, same kind of thing, sex trafficking. Yeah, and a lot of stuff connected to Lucian Grange and all that stuff. And another interesting thing is how, you have these big, elite groups that are connected to these things. Like Bad Boy connected to, like I said earlier, the Seagrams family. No, or I'm sorry, not Bad Boy, Death Row. It's interesting. There's big money involved, and even Lucian Grange here is a knighted Englishman right here, connected to Prince William, connected to Prince Harry. Prince Harry is listed in this list of people who've hung out with, Diddy, which I don't, you can't blame everyone, but he's there. There's something to that. Let's see this. 11th cause of action. There's a lot here. There's a lot. You can go through this whole list. I went through all the sensationalism here. There's a lot of repeated shit. Sex trafficking and all that. Let's see. Come on. Let me get some more dirt. Get some more dirt on Diddy. Breaking new ground here.
Lucasfilm logo. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but no title crawl. Oh well!
I applauded it for being different!
It broke new ground!
But yeah, here we go. This ain't looking good for Diddy, man. Diddy done it. Right? I mean, we'll go through the summary events here. The claims raised by the
there's a big difference between didding it and dunning it.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems to be
did he did it or has he done it?
No, he's done it, man. And there's irrefutable evidence of acquisition.
If I'm his lawyer, I'm trying to plead insanity and the Diddy case.
I mean, there looks to be photo evidence and irrefutable evidence of distribution of ecstasy.
And what is it, just like Donkey Kong?
Ketamine, marijuana, mushrooms, obviously illegal across state borders and across country borders. Distribution, obviously, this is illegal, of illegal firearms across gangs and other things in the United States and probably abroad. Providing laced alcoholic beverage to minors, sex workers at his homes in California, New York, and the Virgin Islands, Florida. Multiple uses of retrieving drugs, so Combs can provide it for consumption to his own people and his own sex workers, minors, everything. So drugs involved to that. Christian Combs drugging and sexually assaulting women. Mr. Combs detailing how he planned to leave leverage for his relationship with T.D. Bishop. This also an impact of the Casey Ventura lawsuit. Okay, so kind of connected to that Casey issue. Young Miami, his cousin, assaulting Mr. Jones, which is, I don't think I'd mind that. Cuba Gooding Jr. sexually harassing Mr. Jones, which sounds kind of creepy. I've seen Jerry Maguire, so I kind of get that. I wouldn't want that. Fuck. Who's the wife of that in the Jerry Maguire? Who's the wife of? Is that Regina King? Am I right on that? Is that Regina King? Cuba Gooding Jr.'s wife in Jerry Maguire? Who is that? Kind of shows you, if that's the case, she went pretty far. She went pretty far in Hollywood. Who's the wife? That's what I'm wondering. She was kind of. It is Regina King. I knew I was right. I'm right on this. Of course I'm right. Maurice Tidwell. That is the wife of Cuba Gooding Jr. in that movie. She had a good bit. That whole I mean, that whole bit was good. That whole bit was show me the money, right? Right? Is that the whole thing? Yeah, I've seen it, right? Sure about that? I mean, I might as well be wearing Cho jeans here.
Said no gag gifts, and Julie gave me Cho jeans, and I almost killed myself.
What are Cho jeans?
Chode jeans. They're jeans for a chode. Size 54 waist, 10-inch legs, fucking junk. Julie gave them to me.
It was just a joke.
I almost killed myself, Julie.
Russell.
I mean, hey, maybe that'll happen with Diddy, man. He might kill himself. You think that could happen? Could you see that happening? I don't know. We'll have to see, man. We'll have to wait and see.
This is Wizard Check. It's a podcast of sorts. So they say.